because a lot of women, they stop their career or they take a break from their career during their marriage or during, their motherhood. Those are the two times when most of the women would take a break from their career. So having those situations, understanding what is required, and while interviewing, you need to have that kind of empathy and that kind of an understanding of what their aspirations are and what you can offer to them. So it has to be a win-win situation. So first of all, in order to include them, you need to have those kind of environment. You have to provide them the environment where the women can also coexist and can take up the similar kind of challenges that men can also take. So those are some things that you can do. In terms of how you make sure that all these things is done and the team functions properly. I think some of the ways is, and I always talk about this, that instead of doing micromanagement of your team, like you do a micromanagement, make it more of a role based kind of a thing. Make it more of KRA oriented, or make it more oriented in the way that women or anyone in your team are responsible for their actions, are responsible for the activities, the roles that they have to play, the tasks that are assigned to them, rather than looking at what time they logged in, what time they logged out. Look at the kind of jobs that you have given to them and how they have performed over there. So the performance should be measured rather than the login time. You should give more flexibility to your team, start delegating more work, and ensure that those objectives, the information security objectives or your team objectives, are met. And in a way, give equal opportunities when it comes to men versus women. And I think that's how you foster a culture where that inclusiveness and that inclusion is there. So I would say that as a CISO, and as a CISO, you definitely have the the onus of protecting your organization and making sure that the information security objectives are met within the organization, and everybody is a custodian of information security. Being a woman CISO, it becomes even more important that apart from making, I mean, forting or guarding the fort, which is your organization, you inspire more and more women within the organization as well as outside the organization to take up security, to take up cyber security as their career. And the somewhere down the line, I have seen you talk to I talk to a lot of women. I have seen, like I was telling earlier, that women would take break from their career when it comes to their marriage or their family priorities. They would take a break, but instead, I think the way to tell them that it's important that they empower themselves. It is important that they start thinking in the lines of what lies ahead. They really take up those challenges. That's what I think, as a women CISO, we need to go around, and we need to inspire more and more women to come up, to take up this journey, to take up the career, and not be afraid of what they are doing. Because I've seen in cybersecurity space, a lot of women think that this is very challenging. It's easy to take up a job which is teaching, because cybersecurity is always changing. So how will I cope up with it? And somewhere people start thinking that cybersecurity or security is more about coding. So I have to, if I go into this, it will be more technical, it will be more coding. But it is not like that. It's all about how you think through it and how much you want to do, and what is your aspiration. So understanding your strengths, going to that aspiration, and then making sure that you are leading it. Those are the things I think we as CISOs, as women CISOs, need to advocate, need to bring that culture, and that would make more women attracted towards this field. So I think, as a women CISO, that is one primary responsibility that we carry. Balance out completely. I mean, everybody talks about balance. I would say it's more like coexistence of office and home. And with COVID, it's more like everything has become office and everything has become home. Data that was coming from your servers is now coming from your laptop. Office, which was like a workspace, it's now like your home. Your bedroom is your house. I mean, your bedroom is your office. So that's how it has changed right now. So it is difficult. It is not easy. But eventually, I think over a period of time, if you have that mindset that you really want to do something, and you really want to follow your aspirations, you want to follow your career path, you want to grow in what you are doing, and you want to be independent and as much acceptable as men are and have those similar kind of positions, you have to make it work. And I personally believe that any female in India, especially, uh, we are we are brought up in the way that we are taught that you have to be polite, you have to be this, you have to be that, and you have to manage your home. So all those responsibilities are given to us right from the time we are born, and that's how we have been brought up. So that's why it becomes difficult for us when we want to follow our career versus our family, and we tend to choose family over career. It's not bad. That's how we are. Um, that's how we have been brought up, and that's how the culture is. But then uh, we also have our own aspirations. We should not put that behind and just focus on the family. We have to make sure that we balance it, and to do that, I think it cannot happen alone. So imagine, your husband or the men in your family, if they have to go to work, there are women who would support. It can be your mother, it can be you yourself, by giving them tiffin and everything. So they get supported. So we as women, when we need to prosper in our career, we also need to learn how to ask for help. I think that's one thing that we always miss, or we feel that, oh, should I do it or not? We shy away from that. So if you need help, you need to step up, and you need to say, you have to tell your husband, you need to tell your father, anybody who's there in the family, your mother-in-law, your mother, everyone, that this is what your aspirations are, this is how you need to do. So you need to look for that support even in your in your careers, in the organization. You need to look for those mentors who can really support you, and that way you can balance between your work and your off and your home life. So that ways it is easier to prioritize the stuff. And then most importantly, you should yourself feel confident about the fact that I can do it. That's one aspect in females that I've seen, where we push back, we tend to overthink. We keep, I mean, in search of perfection, thinking that we may or may not be able to do it. We don't, sometimes we don't speak in the board meetings, or we would not step up saying I would take this responsibility, because of the of the fear of failure. That's how I would put it. So, as women, we need to step up. We need to say that, yes, I can take up these challenging projects. And while you're taking up that challenging projects, you need to have that environment around you through your friends, family, have that kind of supportive environment where, you can balance between your family and your, office work. Uh, I know it is easier said than done, but over a period of time, if you start building little things over it, it really happens. Like it says, like boon boon se sagar banta. So that ways, if you start small, it definitely happens. And once you have thought about it, I want to do it, nothing is impossible, because impossible itself says I am possible. So everything works, but it takes time to work. So that's what you have to do. You have to make it workable. And women can make that happen, because you can run the house with low budgets. You can you can go and do shopping with less amount of money. So why not this is also another aspect of the same thing.
So,
So that's how we should take. So keeping yourself current is very important. I always say that, in this space of cybersecurity, you need to learn and unlearn every day. So one day, what is current or latest today will become outdated by tomorrow. So you have to make sure that, as much as possible. I would not say you can be 100% aware of everything, every damn concept you will know about it. No, you cannot. But yes, you should keep yourself updated. There are so many. I mean, nowadays we have Google, right? Earlier we had only a few books that, after a month when the book will be published, we'll read it. The magazines that were there, Competition Success and all those, India Today. So when you read them, then you would get to know something about it, or the newspaper. But now, you have Google, you have so many other forums where you can go. There is knowledge everywhere, and you can just go and, just be part of webinars, be part of blogs, look at what the people are doing in their organization. Because For example, we talk about AI, we talk about RPA, XDRs, all of that. You cannot implement everything in your organization, right? Every new technology, because it's not applicable for your organization. I mean, you don't need it. But then does it stop you from learning about it? The answer is no. So you can learn about it. You can go to these communities. You can connect with people. You can understand how they are doing it. Like, for example, my sector is not a banking sector, but how is somebody using blockchain in their banking sector? Nobody stops me from knowing about it, right? Talking to the fellow CISOs or to the fellow co people, colleagues in the industry, just research about it, and that's what we do. We do a lot of knowledge sessions internally, also within the team. I go out also in the market, be part of these forums just to understand what and how the things are going on. And I think one very interesting way of doing it is also looking at the new products and taking demos of those new products, because those new products always imbibe the new technologies, and it gets one, you get to know more about the product, and you also get to know about the new technologies. So I try to learn as much as possible, and then whatever is applicable in our environment, I try to look at the existing controls and make sure that whatever needs to be updated or whatever needs to be included, we include those in our overall governance framework and in our control framework. But then, like I said, there are many things which you cannot have in your environment, but then learning about it, sharing with your teammates, or if somebody in the team is coming from has joined from some other organization where they were doing something good, or any other team is doing something good, we do best practice sharing and we do knowledge sharing sessions. So that's how we keep ourselves and the team updated. We have been
Okay,
talking
so
about this, how do you bring more women in cyber, and we have been talking about it over the years. I think first of all, that mindset needs to change. That a lot of times when I go to forums, and even till now, it happens that people have this vision that women don't understand security. So first of all, we need to break that, and everybody should understand that women also understand security as much as men do. So it's not that it's only men who know about it. Yes, it's a area which is dominated by men, I would say. It's not that females don't know about security. It's an area dominated by just men. So if you talk about spaces like HR, or if you talk about spaces like hospitality, would you say that men don't know anything? No, right? But there the dominance is of the females. The females dominated. So similarly here, it is men who dominated. I think uh, it's about the culture, it's about the policies. So organizations have to give more flexible environment to women, for them to function, to work in this environment. Women need to come out of this perception that this is a 24 cross 7 job, this is a technical job. They need to come out of their shell, start thinking that if they really want to do something in their life, they want to do something good, it has to come from within. So there is nobody who's going to come and do that change from you. That has to come from within. You have to make that, you have to be the change yourself. You have to bring that change yourself. So you have to first think that, yes, I can do it. And with that, you can definitely grow and, start looking for more options, and you can do it. So while organizations may have all the policies, everything in place, there are organizations who have that, but they're still struggling to have that balance between men and women. So I think it's the mindset. It's the mindset of the females who if you are really passionate about security, if you are really passionate about learning every day, you should believe in yourself and definitely come up and step up that ladder and take that first step, and everything else will fall into place, right? So like there was a movie of Shah Rukh Khan in which he said that अगर तुम किसी चीज को पाने की कोशिश करो या शिद्दत से कोशिश करो तो पूरी कायनात तुम्हारा
kind of.
साथ देती है. So I think that's what you have to think. So first of all, you need to believe in yourself. Everything else, every other piece of the puzzle falls into place if you believe that you can do it. And I always say, while doing that, you need to be you should always be foolish. So stay hungry, stay foolish, and even if when you are successful, add more and more people into your journey. Make sure that more people are there. So stay humble in that sense. So I think those are a few things that we as females should do. Definitely, organizations are doing it, but first of all, it is our self belief, our belief that we can do it. That's the approach that we should take. And if you ask me, how do you want to see the cyber industry? Definitely, I would want that someday, someday down the line, women outnumber men in this space. So that's my aspiration. That's the aim that I want. But there's still a lot of time to have that.